And we're back for horse racing today on this Thursday at Delaware Park with Kermit the Frog and our good friend Terry over there. Yesterday, that sloppy day probably impacted things a little bit over there. Again, off track again today in Delaware. So yesterday I noticed a lot of horses got to the front and really never gave up that position, Terry. So today I kind of slanted my picks towards some speed horses. Let's see if they play out. We do know for sure that we can play some free picks today at Delta Downs. That's tonight. So you can check that out. There's a link in the description on YouTube for that at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Kindly use that so they know where you are coming from. Of course, shortly after the show ends right here, we'll put our picks as well as our commentary. For Delaware Park, you can click on that. In that, you will see a replay of the show. We will timestamp every race so you can come back and watch them at your leisure as the day progresses. While you're at the HRT store, please please hit the HRT gear link up there. Get yourself a Horse Racing Today sweatshirt or hat, t-shirt. Support the show. We would greatly, greatly appreciate that. And off to Delaware Park we go, Terry, for race number 1.
All right. Well, we're going to start out at 6 furlongs. It's a claiming race, $5,000 claiming price with a purse of $16,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since November 29th, 2024, or which have never won 4 races.
Yes, indeed. So 6 furlongs yesterday, we saw a lot of horses get to the front, stay at the front, and they really never, ever gave it up. So that's what we expect to see again. At least that's what the bias has been overall. Approximately, about 30% usually go wire to wire. Post positions are mostly fair. 8 and out get a bonus. We have our smart sheet data today here, Terry. Again, there's a link in the description for YouTube where you can find the data sheet for today's show, along with an explanation of how all the data points work. So, Terry, speed does matter. Yesterday, as I mentioned, many of them going wire to wire. Who's got the best chance to do that today?
Well, the 1 has the most speed, followed up by the 6, which is pretty close to it. But I really think the 1's going to get out of there and go to the quarter pole first.
Yeah, usually the inside horse has an edge. Looks like the 1 and 6 are the only 2 horses, Terry. They got another thing in common, being the only horses to hit a speed figure of 81 or better. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, Terry, from our Par Plus 1,000 simulations, who has a good chance to do it again today?
Well, the 1 shows that it does, followed up by the 2, 3, and the 4. So the 1 has the best. It's almost 3 times as much as the rest. And so I think it's going to have a good chance to do that.
In this scratch shortened race, do we find any value?
Yeah, the 4 has a little bit of value from 7 to 1 to 12 to 1. 5's value is from 6 to 1 to 10 to 1.
Looking at the race shape, Terry, most of these horses, they should kind of fan out across the track. Many of them should get trips that they like. 6 wants to be forward. 1 can sit in the co-pilot position. The 4 wants to stop. The 3 and 5 should be in position to close. So everybody should be on the track where they want to be, Terry. But when we do our simulations and we take a look at the early pace and see which ones are most likely to get a race that fits their best performances, we got a few in here to look at.
Yeah, all of them but the 5 are pretty close to 50% or above. 1 and the 4 are above 50% that we think is necessary.
Along with being the simulation favorite, Terry, and a yes horse with the top Par Plus, we do see that the 1 improved its pace in the beginning, the middle, and the end of the last race. And in the early course for the first half mile, improved its fractions, usually a pretty good sign. You have the 3, 5, and 6 moving down in class, the 1 and the 4 moving up in class. Terry, also looks like the 1 has some connection advantages too.
Yeah, it's got the best jockey, and then the 5 got the best trainer according to the data. But the 1, I think, is the best jockey-trainer combination.
Yes, the 1 also, the last race speed figure, 8 points top to the rest of the field. Again, Andrew Beyer says 3 points or better. You got to pay attention to those horses. It's also our top total pace by 9 points, a little more than that. Every 5 points equals 1 length. So if you add the early speed and the late speed, you got the top early horse, the most late speed. You might not be able to pass what you can't catch. What do you think?
Well, I like the one Living Water. Finished third in his last race, has the highest speed figure at today's distance. His best start speed is fast among today's starters. Then I like the 6, Dance for Green. He finished in the money in one race out of 2 starts at Delaware Park, and he can handle the distance. Midnight Getaway, the 3, finished third in his last race, finished in the money in 3 races out of 5 starts at today's distance. And my long shot is the 5, Notion to Tap It. He likes Parks Racing, finishing the money 56% of the time, winning 22% of those starts, and has a high percentage winning jockey. No additional bets for me here.
I think the one horse wins too. Sort of the betters on the ground, because right now that horse is sitting at a 2 to 5 line, so really no value in Living Water. After that, I have Dance for Green. Anyway, that's the other yes horse in the race with the 1. Should be forward, also taking the biggest class drop in here today. Midnight Getaway, the 3 horse, should be better in the 3rd start after a layoff. A little better last time out from the middle to the finish line. And then Notion to Tap It on and off track, 12 times in the money in 6 of them. So might find the footing to his liking. I'm going to do a $13 exacta box. I should almost just do $26, 6 over the 1. But I'm going to do it just in case the 1 beats the 6. I think those 2 are the 2 to beat. Race number 2, Terry, our good friend Don Johnson, who I'm sure will say hi at some point. Like Don Johnson or Private Ross, if you got some thoughts, some picks, or any of that stuff, share them with us. We'd greatly appreciate it. Let's just race through race 2, Terry, before race 1 starts running.
Okay, 5 furlongs, a maiden claiming race, $16,000 claiming price, purse $20,000 for maidens, fillies, and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
Good day to you guys as well. To you, Christopher D'Souza. Nice to see you again. 5 furlongs for these horses seeking their first win. The early speed does great. A little bit more than 1 out of 4 wins wire to wire. Outside is better than inside, Terry. Let's just focus on speed for race number 2, and then we'll move on to our picks. Where can it be found?
Well, the 4 has the most speed of everybody by 3 times, so it should get up to that quarter pole first. Mm-hmm. So, all right. So going to my picks, I've got the number 4, Devilish Gal, has the highest last speed rating. Her early speed running style helps chances. This shorter distance will be a help, I think. Her best start speed is fast among today's starters. She has a good workout on May 21st, match 5-6. My second choice, her best start speed is fast among today's starters. She's actually tied with the 4 with that statistics. And then 7, Go Alice Go. Shorter distance should help for improvement. And then the 2 is my long shot, a first-time starter whose sire wins 50% of the races with first-time starters, and her dam has 2 winners from 5 starters. I'm going to bet a 50-cent Miami Vice Don Johnson pick 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the 1, 2, 10, 12 with the 2, 4 with the 5, 9, a $48 ticket.
I mean, that 4 horse coming in from Oaklawn Park, that would be, in my view, a class drop for sure. But it is making the 3rd stop, a 3rd start for the first time in its career in a row. That could be a boom or bust race. Match 5, that is the next horse for me, the 6. That's the only yes horse in the field. Remember, we talked about in here horses that have shown they can hit par. Well, the 6 so far is the only one to get that task done. Naniska, the 2 horse. Well, all of the other horses in this race are no's, aside from the 4 and the 6. This is your first-time starter. Usually I want a 2.5 score or not. But when everybody else is a no, you reluctantly have to put that one in because you just don't know what it can bring to the table. And then finally, number 3, Ruby River, a little bit of a price for me. It's a track dropper that has some early speed and going to shorten up in distance today. I think the 4 and 6 will be your 2 dominant horses with the 1, 6, 10, 12 in my second leg, 1, 2, 4, and 6 in the third leg, and 1, 5, 9. My concern about putting $48 into any ticket today is it could end up being a lot like what we saw at Parks earlier in the week, where favorite wins, and you end up owing money, even though you bet money and you put your money down, right?
Yeah.
Smart money on the 1 in the first. The 4 looks good. 3 is a crypto code. I mean, I think if you're looking at race number 1, let's go back to race number 1. Let's take a look at the current odds. I wish we could show them on the screen. I think you can if you're doing analysis, but you got 1 to 5 on the 1. You know, it's not a value there. Looks to me like the horse, well, the 6 is perfect odds. Well, the 6 is a little bit. At so the 5, maybe you're getting a little bit better odds than you should at 10-1. The 4, so maybe just do a trifecta box, 4, 5, and 6 for 50 cents. That's $3. If it comes in, I absolutely guarantee you get back more than $3. Leave the 1 off the ticket. Probably not the best of ideas, but we'll find out in just a moment. Race 3 is what we're going to head off to there in just a minute. So let me just prep for all that as we take a look at what's about to happen in race number 1. And let me see. Are they running it, Terry? I'm just kind of fumbling around on my screens right now. They're about to go out, and they are off. And the 5 horse got off to a horrible break. The 1 horse down on the rail, along with the 2 horse. No, it's the 3 horse. And the 6. So you got 1, then you got the 6, then you got the 3, and then you got a little bit of a gap back to everybody else. So as they go around the corner, yesterday horses that got to the front stayed in the front. There really wasn't much change like a F1 race. Right now, it looks like this race is going to be between the 2 yes horses because they are pulling away a little bit from the rest of the pack. The only question is, are they maybe going a little bit too fast to open up a little bit of room for other folks to get involved in there? 3 horses trying to close some ground right now. It does look like he's finding his best legs. Can he make up 3 lengths as they come around the turn? He's fanning wide on the track a little bit. Might be a tough spot for him. Down the stretch they come. It does look like the sun is coming out. I do think the 1 horse is going to win. The 6 horse is trying to get up the track, maybe trying to herd the 3 away from finishing in front of him, or maybe trying to get it to switch leads. He's tiring pretty badly at the end here. So it's going to go 1, and then 6-3. 1, 6, 3, and then 5, Terry. So
All right.
Should have just did a $26 exacta, 1-6, right?
Yeah, you should.
What are you going to do? That's the way it goes sometimes. Do you
It
get
is.
back? The one with the 6 pays $4. So you're going to get that 6.5 times. So at least I got, I didn't even get my money back. I'm down $1.50, just like yesterday. A little bit of a negative ROI. But still, when you don't lose all your money, it's not a bad day at the track.
Right.
Race 3 is the next thing for you and me. What is the story with this one?
Well, it was going to be on the turf, but now it's off the turf, and it's going to be, I think, 1 mile and 70 yards still. It's an optional claiming race, $16,000 claiming price, $21,000 purse. It's for 3-year-olds and upward, which have started in a claiming race of $16,000 or less, which have never won 2 races, or claiming price of $16,000, which have never won 2 races.
Yeah, it's going to be $170 on the dirt. We saw that happen yesterday. 1 horse went wire to wire. 1 horse came from about middle pack and won that 8 horse. Overall, at $170 on the dirt, you're looking for stalkers, so more reminiscent of the 8 that won yesterday. Although 1 out of 5 does win on the lead. There is a strong rail bias for Rugby Road. 2 through 7, a little bit under par. The best place to run is 8 and out, Terry. So some tactical speed in race number 3, but again, we find 1 horse that's probably a lot faster than the rest, though many can get involved when it starts.
Yeah, that's right. What we find here is that 12, the outside horse, has more speed than any of the others, although all of them show some kind of speed. But if the 12 can get out there and get in front of the pack, it can probably get that quarter pole first.
8 can go all the way. 12 also, the only horse there in here with a par race.
It is. It's the only one that's either equaled or exceeded the par speed race for here, and the only other one that even came close was the 6.
If I were you, the 6 also looking like it offers a little bit of betting value, but not as much as some others.
Yeah, the 6 has a value of 4-1 to 12-1, but look at that one, 3-2 to 10-1, and the 10 is 9-2 to 12-1.
Mm-hmm. So, as we pointed out many times, horses that have shown improvement in their last race win about 9 out of 10. Many of them do, but you have the 1 and the 13 not showing any, and then the 1 also being our simulation favorite over here. Really no true front runners up in here, Terry, so there's no pilots or pilot co-pilot types. Everybody wants to be middle back. This race shape usually favors horses that can get forward. That would be the 12. Maybe a little left arrow action from the 3 or the 1 in there as well. Terry, with all these road horses kind of grouped up with similar running styles, which one's likely to get the best trip?
Well, it looks like to me that the 10 will, but there's several of them that are over 50%. So most of these horses will be very comfortable in this race.
12 horse, the only yes horse, and he's green across the board on the. No, that's not him. It's the 10, Terry. That's the one to look at if you like the connections.
Yeah, the 10 has the best jockey trainer and trainer jockey connections.
If we look here at our race chart, Terry, where we look at speed figures, this is the high water mark relative to the other horses in the field. Not a lot of volatility in most of these horses, pretty tight ranges, except for the 6. That one has some big volatility. The 12 has shown the most upside by a pretty decent margin. You take a look at the red dots, are the average speed figures for these horses. Looking at that, Terry, it looks like the 10, if it runs its average race, although there's not a lot of difference between it, all the rest of them would have to run near the top of their potential, Terry. That might be what you want to look for there. The 10 also making it into our top 4 total pace horses. We're 7, a little more than 7 out of 10 winners are found. If we're looking for the biggest in-race advantage, it looks like it's the 2 with a 1 length late speed edge, Terry. Who do you think has the biggest advantage in race number 3?
Well, I like the one Rugby Road. He has one race out of 2 starts at Delaware Park. He has a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like 12 Crab Cakes and Beer. He drops in class today, has a trainer, wins 25% of the races when shipping a horse in to run. Lasix is added, and he has a good workout on May 18th. The 2 is my 3rd choice, drops in class today and can handle the distance. And then the 10, Rough and Rowdy, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. He can handle an off track. So that's my long shot. No additional bets here.
Yeah, look at these morning line odds, Terry, because all the favorites scratched out of this race. So who knows what the odds are going to look like when they get cooking. I like that 12 horse to get to the lead. I think he gets there, perhaps stays there. The only yes horse that remains in the track, top total pace as well. Rugby Road, that is our simulation favorite, a big one. Cutting back in distance from some long races. He's running over 2 miles. I don't know if he was jumping over stuff or not, because usually when you see those sorts of distances at some of the oddball tracks, they are fence jumpers. Number 10, Rough and Rowdy. I think that's the name of Dave Portnoy's kind of like UFC alternative. They just get the wild men in there battling each other. But anyway, it's run on Tampa Dirt 3 times, and any of them are probably good enough to win here. And then the 6, if I were you, I wouldn't leave this one off your ticket. It ran 1 time at Delaware. It won easily, and it's the only time the horse ever won. I think it's the only time the horse ever hit the board. So a hidden horse for the course. I feel like this race, we have no idea how it's going to play out. It's probably the only race on the card where you're going to get some big value. So I'm going to do a $1 trifecta box, 1, 6, 10, and 12, and hope to catch the right odds in order. You like the 10, 3, and 2. All right, well, we got a lot of ideas in there. I don't – we agreed on 1 horse. All right, well, Christopher D'Souza. We both can't be right, but hopefully one of us is correct. Race 4, Terry, next on our list of things to do. Let's talk about the condition book for the 4th spot.
Okay, it's 1 mile and 70 yards, a maiden claiming race, $12,500 claiming price. It's a purse of $18,000. It's for maidens, 3-year-olds and upward.
Robert Ross, if I were you too. I would play that one too. That's 6 horse. Why not? 4 horse at $170 at the Delaware track. I just mentioned that it does favor stalkers, but still 1 out of 5, 20%. Hit the quarter mile marker first, and they'll hit the $170 mile marker first. Strong rail for Parlay for Destiny. Is there such a thing for a Parlay for Destiny? A lot of my friends play those like 30-leg parlays, and they'll get 26 of them right, but they still lose all of their money. 2 through 7 play a little bit under par. 8 and out, that's the best place to be, Terry. So if we have a Buffalo girl in race 4 on the outside with some speed, but there's 6 horses in this race, and every one of them can make a case to get the lead.
That's right. It looks like it's very spread out. So just anybody's guess on who's going to get that quarter pole first.
Mm-hmm. As you look over here, you got the 2 on the lead, and then down here, the 2 with the pace. So this race could really open up a lot of different ways when they get started. Perhaps the focus in this one, Terry, should be on horses that have proven they can hit a speed figure of 72, and who are they?
Well, the 3, 4, and 6 have all equal or exceeded the par speed number for today's race. And then the 5 has a maybe got within 5 points. All of them show today that they have a possibility to exceed or equal the speed race, especially the 4.
Yeah, Par Plus, we do 1,000 simulations where we spit out a projected speed figure. And then in 524 of those, or 52.4%, Amazing Bernie amazingly got above the necessary speed figure. Here you see a bunch that showed some better pace. The 1 and 2, a little bit better fractions. 1, 2, 4, and 6 dropping in class, whereas the 3 and 5 are moving up in class. Terry, no doubt which one has the best jockey.
Well, that 4 has the best jockey, and the 5 has the best trainer, according to the data. But the 4, I think, is the best jockey-trainer combination.
Yes. Maybe the answer to this race is in the way it sets up. Got the 3 as a lone E. Should test the lead, according to both scenarios here, Terry. Everybody else, middle back. So I would suspect the horse that gets forward, not surprisingly, considering what we've seen, will do well there, Terry. Which one's most likely to get the trip that fits their best performances to date?
Well, it looks like the 1 has got the best numbers for that, followed up by that 5. So we'll just have to see how this goes.
Yes, the 6 horse had the last race speed figure, 9 points better than everybody else. That means it's got to regress a lot, or everybody else has to come up a lot. 6 with the most late speed, also in here in our top 4 as well. So maybe the one to focus on is the 6, Terry. What do you say?
Okay, I see that the 4 is my best bet. I'm not best bet, but my bet for this race. He drops in class today. His best dirt speed is faster than the average winning speed. He has a high percentage winning jockey. Then I like the 2 Prime Motive, drops in class today. Has a trainer wins 25% of the races when taking a horse from a sprint to a route. And he has a high percentage winning jockey. Cary Grant, the 6, my third choice, ran second versus Tougher in his last race, drops in class today. His best start speed is fast among today's starters. 1 Parlay for Destiny is my long shot. He has a high percentage winning jockey and the rail post winning 25% clip. No additional bets for me here.
I'm going to start with that 6, trying to find a little bit of value on this card, perhaps. That one had the top last race speed figure. It is a yes horse. All of the race internals were better across the board. Amazing Bernie should be as good, maybe a lot better in the second start after a layoff, according to his resume of work. Prime Motive, the 2 horse, my third call, biggest class dropper, one that should press for the lead, but all of them should press for the lead. And then the 1, Parlay for Destiny, speed and fade in its last race. Another one that I'm expecting more stamina out of in round 2 off the sidelines. I'm going to do another trifecta box for a buck. The 1, 2, 4, and 6, hoping that 1 horse can somehow end up in first or second place. So very few races on this card today where I feel like there are some long shots with a chance. Race number 5, another one of those, Terry. We don't know what the odds are going to look like. They won't look like that's for sure. But we do know what the race will look like.
Yeah, it's another one that was going to be on the turf and is now off the turf at 1 mile and 16th. And it's an optional claiming race at 16,000. Purse 22,000. It's for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and upward, which have started for a claiming price of 16,000 or less, and which have not won 3 races or claiming price is 16,000 or never won 3 races.
Yes, $1.16. Terry, we know from yesterday what the profile of a winner looks like. Does favor horses that come from off the pace or stock. 17% of the time, they still win on the front. Strong inside to outside post position bias, Terry. Nobody winning from 8 or out, but there's no horses that go out that far. In only a 5-horse field, I think that's what we have in race number 5. Our good friend Scott Fielder said take the longest odds. Looks like this should be a pretty tight odds window in there as well, Terry. But again, one that looks like it's a little bit faster than everybody else at the start.
Yeah, that 9 has the best speed in the race, so it should get to the quarter pole first.
Well, but the pace number here says he's worst. So again, kind of inverse. Maybe the 5 is the one that takes charge.
Yeah.
Who knows? As far as those that have hit par, Terry, they all have a shot today, it looks like, and they've all either done it or come close.
That's right. You're right about that. And as you can see there, we've got the 1, 2, and let's see, 1, 2, and 9, or 1, 5, and 9 who have done it. And then, of course, there's the 8 and the 12 that are maybes. As far as who's going to do it today, they all have a little bit of a chance to equal or exceed today's par speed number.
Yeah, all of them coming off of races where they showed improvement somewhere. The 5 and the 8s dropping in class, everybody else moving up in class. Our race shape tells us, Terry, the 5 is a lone E, everybody else middle back. 5 should be a part of the pace, at least according to both our projected leaders and the early pace. Does the 5 also get a good C-zone, Terry?
Well, it's okay, but the 9 and the 12 have the better C-zones, especially that 12 is going to be very comfortable in this race.
The 9 has a 5-point last race speed figure edge. That could be enough to get the job done. But even with that, he grades out as the bottom total pace horse. This race, Terry, looks like it's relatively wide open. So how did you rank them?
Well, I like the 9. Excuse me. Topio Rose. She won her last race at Gulfstream Park, and she has a high percentage winning jockey. Gills' Girl, the 5, has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 30% of the races. When shipping a horse in to run and switches the high percentage winning jockey. Turbo Millie, the 12, is my third choice. Ran second versus similar in her last race. She has the highest high percentage winning trainer. And then as my long shot, I like the 1, Steel Guitar. She has a high percentage winning trainer and switches a high percentage winning jockey and can compete on and off track. I'm going to play the last Miami Vice picked 4, 1, 5, 8, 9, 12 with the 2, 4 with the 2, 6, 7 with the 2, 3, 4, a $45 ticket.
All right. So actually, I did get some money back on that race, Terry, for that first one. Because the $1 exacted paid 4.30 times 13. That works to $55.90. All right. How about that? I got half of my money back. Here I thought I lost money, Terry.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I like the 5 horse in here. Gilda's Girl. In my family actually used to know Gilda Radner. And what was the other guy named? Gene something another, the comedian from Saturday Night Live. I can't remember his last name. But anyway, I like that 5 horse, Gilda's Girl, because
Gilda Radner.
Yeah, Gilda Radner and Gene. What was the other guy's name?
I don't remember.
Her husband. He was on Saturday Night too. He had like the funny hair. Anyway, I can't remember that, but I never met them, but my family did. In any case, the 5 horse is our simulation favorite in a race where we have no idea who the favorite's going to be. It's also the top par plus. Could be a lone E horse. Biggest class drop in the field. Lots of reasons to think that one gets up there and stays up there. Utopia Rose could be the pace setter in this race. Also has that 5-point last race speed figure edge. When this horse does its best, it's on the lead. That's about where it should be or close to the lead today. 1, Steel Guitar. Better across the board last time out with better fractions as well. And the 12 horse was a tough call for me over the 8, but nearly all the smart sheet numbers are a little bit better for the 12 than the 8. I'm going to go 1, 5, 9, 1, 2, 4, 5, 2, 7 with 2, 3, 4, 5 for my $48 pick 4 again. One of those pick 4s that could be a little bit dangerous where you might be a little bit more selective than we are for sure. Gene Wilder. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Sanders. I appreciate that. Gene Wilder. Yes. Gene Wilder and Gilda Radner. It was my stepfather, my real father in like life sense. His family owned a shoe store. My brother, my uncle on my stepfather's side, married into a family where I think Gilda Radner was a cousin or something like that. So they would come to the shoe store and get their shoes. I never met them, unfortunately. I wish I had. In any case, it's stuff that you don't need to know, right? It's not pertinent to what we're doing here today, but it's still good to know, the people that you're working with on a day-to-day basis that you spend time with. Speaking of spending time with us, tomorrow, Tom, throwing me for a loop, has a trio of tracks for Foreign Friday, Haydock and York on Saturday, and then we're going to go off to Chantilly, or Chantilly, or however Tom pronounced it in the French way, for Sunday in France. So not only are we going to cover different tracks, we're going to be in different countries for Foreign Friday, Terry. I'm not sure if Terry will be on his lonesome for next week. I'll be out on vacation. Maybe Tom will join him. But no matter what happens, if you're not watching, you're not winning. And if you want to win, Terry, you got to watch. And in order to watch, what do you got to do?
Well, you got to subscribe to our YouTube channel and get that bell, hit the bell. So you get get notification on all the different programs. Go down and copy that link, share it with everybody you know so they can come and check us out. Then go to our social sites such as YouTube, X, Facebook, let's see, Threads, X. Oh, I already said X, right? TikTok,
Anywhere there's social media.
Instagram at Horse Racing number 2 Day. Give us a thumbs up and a like. Keep these good comments coming and answering our questions when we can't remember something. We really appreciate it. It helps with our algorithms.
Yeah, it also helps with our brains. As Marco, friend, used to say, the first thing to go is the gray matter between the ears. So you bet the grays in the mud, and that you can count on the grays forgetting everything because upstairs is nothing but mud. All right, Terry, in race number 6, let us know what the conditions are and what they're running for and how far they're going to run.
Well, it's going to go for a mile. It's an optional claiming race, $12,500 claiming price, a purse of $25,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have started for a claiming price of $8,000 or less in 2024, 2025, or a claiming price of $12,000 to $10,000.
Yes, they're going to make one trip around the Delaware Park track. And when they do one trip around the Delaware Park track, about 32%, a little bit less than 1 out of 3, get to the lead and hold it gate to wire style. Post positions are mostly fair, 1 through 7, discounted from 8 and out, Terry. So be forward, be more inside than outside, and you got a good shot. But again, we see 2 horses that are standouts, one in particular.
Yeah, that 5 shows a lot of speed, and it's almost on the outside. Only has 1 horse on the outside of it. And then the 2 comes in second according to the data.
Yeah, so you got the 5 showing like it wants to blaze. You got the 4 horse with a 2-length late speed advantage in here. You got the 2 horse, that's a pretty heavy favorite, along with the last race speed figure of 8, Terry. All of them except the 6 showing that they can hit par, but which ones have the best chance to do it today?
Well, as you can see there, the 2 is almost to 50%. It's 48.2%, followed up by that 4. So they have the best chance of either equaling or exceeding the speed part number for today's race.
It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of value in the odds there, does it?
No, I can't really find anything of value there.
We got a little bit of improvement, checkered spots across there. No, only 1 horse, the 3, aspiring comedian. Well, some might say that what this show is all about, Terry, but there's no doubt which horse has the best jockey-trainer combination.
Well, that's that too. He's got the best jockey, best trainer. So it's the best jockey-trainer combination as far as I'm concerned.
And what's the name of that horse, Terry?
Yodel-A-hoo.
Yodel-A-hoo. I remember my grandmother, God rest her soul. If you're familiar with the song, The Werewolf of London.
Yeah.
And they have like the Werewolf of London. There's like a chorus in there, like I used to make my grandmother, ooh. My grandmother, I would tell her, okay, the woo would be coming up on the song, and I'd make her do it. It was the funniest thing ever. Because she would do it with this German accent. I mean, it was funny. I mean, it would be worthy of a Saturday Night Live skit for sure. 4 horses in here that want to be on the lead, 2 that want to track those leaders and then go by them at the end, Terry. That should favor horses that come from off the pace a little bit. But if we're looking at the horses that are going to get the best trip, 2 of them are standouts.
Yeah, the 3 and the 6, especially that 6 has got really good C-zone numbers. So
yeah, so in 932 out of 1,000 simulations where we took a look at what the race will look like at the quarter-mile marker and the relationship to the leader, when the horse won, you see here that 6. Man, that one should find a trip that it likes today. 2, 4, 6, and 5. So you got the 3 even number horses on top of the 3 odd number horses. Terry, did you go evens or did you go odds in this race?
Well, I went even with the first 2. The 2 Yodel-A-hoo is my pick of the day. He has won 3 races in the last 4 starts, has a high percentage with jockey. Number 4, Cupid's Dude, is second. He finished second in his last race as a favorite, but has a trainer wins 28% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. Has a high percentage winning jockey. Mega Charlie, the 5, my 3rd choice, finished 3rd versus similar in his last race. Has a high percentage win. Has the highest percentage speed figure at today's distance. And then the 6, Ghost Stalker, is my 3rd long shot. He ran 3rd versus similar in his last race. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Bet 40 to win on number 2, a $10 exacta box 2-4, and then a $10 exacta 2 on top with the 1-4-5-6.
Yes, and we will be rolling out something when I return from vacation where we're going to isolate a bunch of not a bunch of best bets, but a few best bets across the tracks all across the country. And then we're also going to take a look through all the smart sheets to find some tactical edges, the horses with the biggest tactical edges, and we'll highlight those and make them available via a subscription. We'll tell you all about that when I return after the Belmont Stakes and over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. If you are a monthly subscriber, next week you'll get our wagering guide. Today you'll get the free track, which is Delaware Park. You can check that out. Again, link in the description below. I agree with Terry. He's probably regretting making the 2 horses best bet right now because I have it as my top pick too. And Yodeli, probably not the best thing to say when you're a little congested, but I'll try. Top last race speed figure was 8 points, better than everybody else. Should challenge for the front. And then number 2, Cupid's Due. 2-length late speed advantage, number 4. Tampa Bay track dropper, I guess. It's run on and off track 3 times, won 2 of them. You know who's riding today, Terry?
No, who?
Paco. We should put Paco on Yodel. Ooh, that would be just a Paco. Mega Charlie loves an off track there, Mr. Terry. And the distance. It is a yes horse and should be on the front. And then finally, JJD, the last of the yes horses in here, Terry. Resume says the second start after a layoff could equal a big pop in performance. Let's see what that happens. Is 2 in the 6th. I got it marked down. Yes. Hopefully you do well enough today that it doesn't save your arse. Only 3 horses in race number 7, Terry. A lot of scratches in there. Real quick, they're going to run 5 furlongs on the turf. It's going to be moved to the dirt, as we saw earlier in the day. 5 furlongs on the dirt does favor horses that have some early speed, but with only 3 horses, it doesn't really much matter, Terry. The data doesn't really say a whole lot to us either, so let's just do our picks for race number 7.
Okay, well, I like the 2, Lady Zeta. She won her last race at Laurel Park. Her best speed. Oops, she's not a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. And then Baby Blocks, the 7, is 1 for 1 at Delaware Park. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 6, Love to Eat, is my third choice, or long shot if you want to say. She ran second in her last race and can improve at the shorter distance. That's it.
Lady Zeta likes the off track. 11 times out, 4 of them won. First ups are questionable, so maybe the horse gets a challenge. But maybe this horse is ready to run. The best published workouts since it's run last. Next up is the 7, Baby Blocks. That Baby Blocks is coming in from Gulfstream Park. The only time that horse ran at Delaware, you know what it did, Terry?
It won.
It got the W, raised the blue flag. And then Love to Eat, that's my excuse. Could be the leader. Never out of the money on and off track. Won't be out of the money today either, Terry, but it's never won. 3 times out, 0 wins, but a second and a couple of thirds. And I think it'll add to that 3rd place finish record on and off track. We probably don't have time to do the final race today. I mean, it looks like they're heading for the gate. So just again, real quick, free picks today, guaranteed tip sheet. There's a link in the description below. Please use that. In just a few moments over on horseracingtoday.net, you'll find right in the middle of the screen there our picks, our thoughts for the day. Click on it. You will get a race show replay. In the description on YouTube, we'll timestamp every race so you can find out why Terry likes yodel-ee-oo. That just sounds wonderful, folks. I'm ready for the America's Got Talent for sure with that. But we'll timestamp every race so you come back and see why Terry likes that one, as well as our thoughts and process for everything. Please hit the HRT gear button. Get yourself a Horse Racing Today t-shirt. Also, in the link in the description on YouTube, you will find a link to a tip jar. Please use that if you find our show worth your time, because it helps Terry and I continue to put good product together. And that's all the stuff I can go through here. I can't think of anything else other than hit the like and subscribe button. All right, let's take a look at what's on stake for race number 2 as they are loading into the gates before we head off to the final race of the day. The 4 is another 2 to 5 favorite right now. The 6 match 5 is the only one that looks like the bettors think might challenge it. Otherwise, everybody else is double digits. So you're looking for some value. It looks like the 3 horse is the best value in the race, or the 7, Go Alice Go. Those two might offer you a little bit of betting luxury. We think the 4 and 6 are going to get to the lead. Let's see if indeed that's what happens, Terry. Like the last race, the 2 horses got to the lead and nobody else even came close. The 3 horse did try to close, but 2 horse a little bit reluctant to load, but he's finally gone in. Looks like there's one that's halfway in, and they're off in the running. Pretty clean break for everybody. I don't think anybody got off to a sluggish start. The 6 and the 4, and the 2 is really trying to keep the 6 and the 4 at bay there. So I think that's what, the first time starter. So you got to look out for that. Actually, the 4 is not in the mix there at all. No, it's the 6 that missed the break. The 2 and the 4 battling it out. 2 horse, that first time starter, going to be dangerous in there. But the 4 horse jockey standing nice up and tall on that guy. Mark down that 2 horse, though. Got off to a good break, Terry. Yeah. And that might be one that next time out, if it doesn't win this time out, he looks like he's going to maybe get this race, Terry. I don't know. The 4 horse is trying to catch him on the outside. I don't think he's going to get him. I think that 2 horse. This is why you got to take a look at those first time starters against all those no's, Terry. They run all of the time. The 6 might run him down at the end here, but I don't think he's going to. He's definitely giving it a whirl. That 2 horse, Terry.
Good.
Yeah, I should have put, and I think he went off at 24-1.
Yeah, and I put him in my pick 4.
Yeah, and you know where he's going to be on my picks, right?
Yeah.
He's going to be next. Right? There he is. Yeah. Stupido on my part for not putting him in there at 24-1. Just dumb, but hey, that's what I do. But then again, smart enough to put these sheets together. And again, one of the things that you got to pay attention to, especially when you have a bunch of no's, and this is my fault for not putting him in there. I should know better. 1,000% I should know better. But when they're all no's or a maybe, you got one yes, the 6 horse, which finished second, you have to put that first time starter in there. I know he didn't have that 2.5, which is why I didn't put him 3rd. But there you got it, folks.
I thought it was really wide open. That's why I went with all the horses I did, except for the 1. I didn't use the 1.
Because you have a $50 budget. Otherwise, you'd use the 1 anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Final race of the day. I hope I don't make a stupid mistake in this one, Mr. Terry. But what are the conditions for the final race of the day?
All right. So in this 8th race, it's a 6 furlong race. It's a claiming race, $6,250. Claiming price, the purse, $15,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
Yes, and at 6 furlongs, again, horses that get to the front. We've seen it 2 races in a row on the mud. Get out to the front, stay out in the front, and you might win. I think you got a high probability of that. Prior starts, 30% of the time, the probability was 30%. Mostly fair post positions 1 through 7, 8, and now get a bonus, Terry. So in race number 8, who's going to get the lead here?
The 4. The 4 has lots of speed. Everybody shows some speed, but that floor has almost 50% in the data there. So it should get the quarter pole first.
Mm-hmm. I see he's also got the top early pace in there. If you're looking for late speed, you got the 1, 2, 3, and 4, a big gap between them. Terry, if you want horses that have proven they can hit par, who are they?
All right. Well, as you can see there, it's the 3, 4, 5, and 6. 3, 4, 5 who have in the past exceeded or equaled the speed part number for today's race. And then the 2 and the 6 came within 5 points of doing that last time. As far as today, the 2, 3, 4, and 5 all show some numbers that they could possibly equal or exceed today's speed race.
Mm-hmm. As far as our race shape is concerned, most people want to be middle back, should favor that early speed, although the 4 pressure horse might not want the lead. He might relinquish it to the 5, Terry, but who's going to be the one that's the most comfortable in this spot today?
Well, it looks like to me that the 4 is. It's got 68.78%. And then nobody else is above the 50%. The 5 does come kind of close, but that's it.
Now, looking at this, Terry, the 4 horse, the one with that strong C-zone, also the top speed figure, most upside. Also, its average race, for the most part, is better than the top performance for most of these horses. It's also a part of the 4 that are dropping in class, Terry. But if you're looking for I don't know. He's also maybe in that jockey-trainer combination mix too.
Yeah, that's right. The 3 has the best jockey. The 4 shows the best trainer. But I think the 4 is the best jockey-trainer combination.
He's also the top total pace with the 1, 2, 3, and 4 in that group. The 3 with the top last race speed figure. 3 points clear of the next closest one. Terry, what are your final thoughts for this week?
Well, I like the 4. He finished in the money in 3 races out of the last 5 starts, has a high percentage winning trainer, wins 18% of the claiming races. He has a horse running in, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. And then the 3 Russian Hammer ran the second versus Tougher in his last race, drops in class today, switches to high percentage winning jockey. Number 2, the Heights, drops in class today, has a trainer, wins 21% of the races when dropping a horse down 2+ classes, and he has a high percentage winning jockey, and he likes the distance. And then Carbonite, the 5, is my long shot. He has the highest speed figure today's distance, and his best start speed is fast among today's starters. I'm out of money, so no additional bets for me here.
Christopher D'Souza says he's got a different idea in race number 6, Terry. You got Yodeleu. He's got the 1 horse. You won the last one. So this one, Chris got to get himself back in there. Race number, Don Johnson, thank you for joining us today. Jose, thank you again for joining us from Venezuela. Like always, we appreciate that. I'm going to go with Araj to win, to get to the front, like so many horses have done so far today, and stay there. I don't see any reason why that'll change, although the sun is out. But I imagine if the track gets fast, speed won't be that bad either. Russian Hammer does have the 3 points last race speed figure, better early pace, better fraction than his last. The Heights, the 2 horse, cut back in distance, could help. Biggest class drop in the field. And then the 5 horse was a tough call for me over the 6, but a yes horse versus a maybe. And this horse should be more forward on the track. I'm going to do $4 exact key box 4 over the 2, 3, and 5. I got to say, Terry, just alone, when we finally do launch the smart sheets alone, just for the first time starter races, it's going to be worth the cost, because how many of these first time starters do we see versus yeses versus a bunch of no's that come back and win and do so at a high price? That 2 horse, again, next up on my ticket, it's just stupid on my part. That guy paid, what did that one guy pay? That one paid $51 to win, something like that?
Yeah.
Paid $51 to win. If you put the 6 horse next to him, who was the only yes horse in the field, that exacta paid $75. The 3 horse, the Ruby River, with the 4 horse running out of the money, you put that in your trifecta. That horse paid $11.80 to show. You know how much that trifecta paid, Terry, for 50 cents?
Yeah, it paid $252.75.
That's the race I should have did the dollar trifecta box in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyhow, that's why I like to, when I go to the track, I usually put a small bet. Like I'd probably put a $12 box on there with some long shots in case the favorite ran off the board. But nonetheless, this is the way we see the rest of the day. Race number 1, the 1 horse one. Race number 2, the 2 horse one. I don't think there's a 3 horse in the next race, so I don't think that pattern will continue. But here's how we see the rest of the card in there, Terry. As far as our races bets are concerned, I have a trifecta box in race number 3. In race number 4, I have another trifecta box. I already got half of my money back. Another pick 4. So I have the 1, 5, and 9, folks. That means the 12 is the absolute guaranteed winner in that race. Race number 6 is Terry's best bet. Race number 7 and 8, we have one more bet in race number 8. So that is the rest of our suggested wagers. Terry, again, I don't know if you're going to be flying solo next week or if you'll have the company of Tom. But nonetheless, you'll have some wise words of wisdom before we part company today.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to next week. I hope everybody will excuse any mistakes I might make, as I'm not real used to doing the lead in the show, as we got a great guy here, Rich, who does the lead all the time. But I'm going to give it my best shot, and I hope you all join us and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you're notified about when that programs are going to come up, and copy the link, share it with everybody so they can come and check us out too. Go to our social sites that are scrolling at the bottom there. Give us that horse race number 2 day. Give us a thumbs up or a like. We really enjoy that. And it helps us. And keep these comments coming. Like to talk to you folks online here. See you tomorrow. Yeah.
You're Monday. You'll be back Monday.
Monday. I'm sorry. It's Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow for the cross-continental stuff in Europe, not cross-continental, the cross-border stuff between England and France on Saturday and Sunday. Make sure you tune in for that. And then I'll be out probably from Monday to Monday. I don't know if I'll be back the following Monday or not. I probably will be able to do the following Monday before my flight takes back off from Tampa to Chicago. Well, until then, Terry, I hope no matter what you're doing for the rest of this terrific Terry Thursday, you don't leave the first timer off your ticket versus the field of yeses and nos. And that, of course, you have God's grace, God's favor, and every single thing you do till we all meet up again ends up in
the winner's circle.
Indeed. Have a blessed Thursday. I'll see you tomorrow.